If you purchased a new Ford Super Duty truck to tow your trailer and opted for the Ford trailer camera kit, which in the Ford website looks like this camera, but when you received your camera with your truck, the camera actually looks like this and the instructions show you the other camera, then you have a mismatch with the instructions in the camera and it's not clear how to install it. Well, if that's your experience, then stick with me here. I'll show you what to do to get that camera installed. As you can see from this picture in the documentation, the camera is an adjustable position camera. And after unboxing the camera here, you can see that it is now updated to a fixed position camera. And the biggest problem with this change is the way that it attaches to the trailer. To mount this camera, it comes with 3 long machine screws with wing nuts to mount the camera into place. With the wing nut design, you would need to drill a hole all the way through your trailer, and on the other side, on the inside of your trailer, you would have to attach the wing nuts to hold it into place. The problem is, if you're attaching this to a travel trailer, you more likely have cabinets or maybe even some appliances that are on the other side of where that connects, and you cannot drill all the way through and connect those wing nuts. So in this video, I'll show you how I adapted to this and used some wood screws to attach it to the back of my 5th wheel trailer. Because I'm going to be using butyl tape, the first thing I'm going to do is use some isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and clean the area that I'm going to secure this to. Clean the back side of the mounting bracket as well. Then I apply a couple of pieces of butyl tape, ensuring the holes are completely covered. Now with a pair of scissors, I just trim off the excess butyl tape. Using a level, I make sure that the bracket is installed in a level position. Keep in mind that using a level to do this only works if your trailer is already level. If your trailer isn't level, just try to ensure that it's even or parallel with another part of the trailer, for instance this trim at the top. I just push the butyl tape snugly against the trailer and it will hold in place. Now using a 5/64 inch drill bit, I drill the 3 pilot holes. Now using 2-inch number 6 wood screws, I secure the camera into place. When using small screws on thin wood, I prefer to use a screwdriver to manually tighten them. When trying to snap the outer cover into place, I discovered that the heads of the screws were slightly too large, not allowing the cover to snap properly into position. To fix that issue, I just took my Dremel tool with a grinding bit on it and I ground down the outer edge of the screws. Using a putty knife, I go ahead and trim off all the excess butyl tape. Next, with some alcohol, I go ahead and clean the area around the top of the unit. And then using some exterior silicone caulk, I caulk on top of the unit where it meets the trailer. There's no need to caulk on the sides or the bottom, because if water does happen to get in behind the unit, you need to leave a path for that water to drain. Since I'm not going to be running the wire inside the trailer, I'm cutting off this rubber grommet Plug the connector into the camera, and then when securing your wiring harness, let it droop or drop below the level of the camera a little bit. This way, any rain collecting on that wiring harness will drip down at this point instead of dripping into your camera. Using wire ties, I ran my wiring harness down the back of the trailer on my ladder. In this image, you can see how I routed my wiring harness along my gas line using wire ties. In this image, you can see how I cut a hole into the undercarriage fabric to route the cable into the battery storage compartment. So here's the other end of the cable where it plugs into the truck. Here you can see that I mounted the Ford supplied docking station up under the Kingpin box. I figured this would be an ideal place to keep the connector dry while the unit is in storage. Now you can see how I routed the cable into the battery storage compartment. I removed these two screws in the fiberglass panel, and with the fish tape I pulled the cable into the battery storage compartment. Because the bulky connectors would not fit through the area underneath the fiberglass, I had to cut the cable in half. In this area here, you can see where I had re-spliced those cables together and taped over the harness. Here you can see why I started from the back at the camera and moved to the front, because I wanted to coil the excess cable inside the battery compartment. To get the cables to the undercarriage and follow that gas line to the back, I just followed where all the other cables were going down below into the undercarriage. And here you can see the benefit of using the Ford supplied trailer camera. Because the Ford trailer camera appears in the Ford Sync infotainment screen, I don't have to have another trailer camera screen sitting on top of my dashboard. The camera screen is customizable. Here I have just the trailer view, and here I have the trailer view combined with the side views from the Ford 360 camera system. This has been a DIY Saver production. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, and if you want to see more content, hit subscribe too.